first speech, The Icebreaker. The title of my speech is, I am not supposed to be here. Looking forward to learn and improve my leadership and speaking skills, Fabio.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow members and guests, I am not supposed to be here today. The year was 1975, São Paulo, Brazil. Doctors told my mom on that day, we gotta get you to the surgery room or your baby's not gonna make it. The doctor said, let's converge to the surgery room, get a baby out of you. So what happened is they had to cut her open and get me out of there. It turns out that I had an umbilical cord wrapped around my neck. And had I been born the normal way, I would have been hung to death. So that was my first near-death experience. So the moment my mom saw me for the first time after she had come to her senses, she said, "Oh, what a beautiful baby. I think I'm gonna name him Fabio. He just looks like a Fabio." Most of you cannot relate to that name because it's obviously not an American name, but in Brazil it's very common. To make an illustration of how uncommon that name is, let me give you an example. As most of you guys know, I own a video game store in Lake Mary, Florida. And here's a typical thing that happens more often than not. I'll be answering the phone. Thanks for calling Playing 3 Video Games, or you can pre-order a copy of Halo 4. This is Fabio. How may I help you today? Yeah, I was playing my Xbox 360, and the dog came over, knocked down my Xbox 360, and now the game won't play. I got this scratch on the disc. Is that something you can fix? A buddy of mine was telling me about your store, and you can fix that. Oh yeah, absolutely, we can. By the way, my name is not Bobby. My name is Fabio, F-A-B-I-O. So later the customer comes into the store. Hey, I'm looking for Fabio. I was talking to him on the phone, and he told me that you guys can fix scratch discs. Yeah, I'm Fabio. The guy looks in surprise, like, wow, you are nothing like I was expecting you to look like. Oh yeah? Were you expecting to see this? Oops, oops. I get that all the time. People know him from the commercials, the novels. So I get that all the time. And a lot of customers, they come into the store and they don't believe my name is Fabio. So I gotta bust out my driver's license and say, here you go, here's the proof, my name is Fabio. So enough of that. So that's the story about my name. I had another, I would say, a near-death experience. That was when I first ran my first marathon. I've done 4 marathons in my whole life.
Wow,
and Lee, my wife, can attest to that. The first one was the Sunburst Marathon in Indiana, and that marathon finishes in Notre Dame, the stadium. It was really cool. But unfortunately, it was my first marathon, and I had to learn things the very, very hard way. And what happens is, I started the race super fast, and by mile 13, I was like done. So I ended up walking many, many miles, running, walking, and I was way ahead of Lee. And then eventually, it was the story like the turtles. I went fast, decided to gas out, and then she caught up to me. And she was so nice that she came over and decided to slow down her pace and finish up with me. And I ended up being a super jerk at the end. last part of energy at the very so that should not be me. Anyways, the last 4 years of my life, I decided to venture from my previous career, which is engineering, into becoming an entrepreneur. And so I bought into the video game franchise, play and trade video games, because I had a dream. And my dream was to own my own life, to make as much money as I want to make. So I decided to buy into the store. So I asked myself, after looking at the debates, am I better off today than I was 4 years ago? And the answer was absolutely not. The economy for retail, especially in Lake Perry, is bad right now. In my plaza, there's a couple major anchor stores that closed recently, and moving expenses are very, very expensive to move out. So the last year, I was introduced to this other company, which I'll probably talk about in my next speech. But the reason why I joined Toastmaster was because I needed to improve my communication skills, develop my leadership skills, and make new friends. Thank you.